It's time for our weekly Devo tip in the weird laws of the Bible. It's easy to pluck scripture out of its context, especially when it comes to the weird laws. Weird laws are challenging because sometimes one word can carry different meanings. Take, for example, the word sell. We all know what that means. But to sell also means to persuade, like sell an idea. You can also sell the game by playing badly. It's a slang. For the Brits, California is a bit of a sell. Apparently, it's a disappointment to them. And then if you add the word slave, well, this Hebrew word also means servant. Like Moses is a servant or slave of God. It's the same word. So if a man sells his daughter as a slave, what does that mean? Well, the context of this law is debt servitude. What is that? Debt servitude was the only option available for families who could not pay their debts, and they found themselves living in poverty. There were no welfare programs available for them. So, if a man sells his daughter as a slave, it's in the context of debt servitude, not sex trafficking. But even so, why would a family in dire financial straits do this? We have to remember that in the ancient world, females were particularly vulnerable. They had no career paths to take. Insert poverty into the mix, and you have a crisis. A careful reading of the text reveals that a poor man's daughter could be sold to a fellow as a maidservant. Notice the poor man's father expected something in the deal. Either the gentleman or his son will marry her. If neither one ties the knot with his daughter, the gentleman has acted deceitfully. That is, he has broken faith with her, as Moses puts it. The gentleman must give his maidservant back to her family. You see, the law of the poor man's daughter provided hope and protection for young women with no resources, no future, no hope. Nothing. If the gentleman does marry her and another woman, the poor man's daughter retains all the privileges of a wife, including conjugal rights. Yes, the law of the poor man's daughter ensured sexual gratification for her. She was not a sex slave. She was not owned property. If the arranged marriage was not fulfilled, she was free to leave. That, my friends, is not slavery. Although it's easy to assume the meaning of words and difficult to understand the ancient custom of arranged marriages, it is simply irresponsible to twist the law of the poor man's daughter into an issue of human trafficking. God's laws protected the dignity and rights of ancient societies most vulnerable. Apparently, the Bible's weird law of the poor man's daughter isn't so weird after all. Tune in next week for more weird laws in the Bible.